You're listening to a bonus episode of the Jurassic Park podcast. Enjoy.
Where's Aunt Claire?
7 o'clock tomorrow night on the East Dock. Make sure he gets it right.
But it's alive! And everyone on the planet's going to line up to appreciate it and everything done for.
People would say they could see the fleas. Oh, I can see the fleas. Mommy, can't you see the fleas?
Are these characters autoerotic?
No.
Come on!
Hello and welcome back to yet again another bonus episode of the Jurassic Park podcast. I am your host, Brad Jost, and today we've got something fun planned, but before we get there, you may have heard our bonus episode the other day focusing solely on the amazing trailer that came out, the official third and final trailer for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Aaron Beyer hosted that along with a panel of people in our InGen boardroom. We had Jurassic Becky, we had Clayton Fioriti, and myself as the panel. We discussed that trailer at length, answered a bunch of questions, gave it our all, and it was the third and final trailer, right? No, we have one more trailer for you guys. This is another full trailer, but it's an international trailer, and it features a ton of different sites in this one. Some new information, some definitely spoilery stuff in here. So if you watch the other trailer, it's probably safe to watch this one as well. If you didn't watch the other one, stop listening to this, because I'm going to talk about both trailers, kind of reference them both and see the difference between the two. I really, really love this trailer. I don't know, I might like it more than the other one. It's actually a toss-up at the moment. I've watched the other one a lot more. I've only watched this one like once or twice, so this is kind of still fresh. I'm going to go along with you guys, learn as much as I can, relay as much as I can. Hopefully I have some insight here for you all, and I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to dive deep into this, give you every theory I possibly can, and connect some dots. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, I'm going to dive into it. We have the video in our show notes. You can find it there. Watch along with us. Pause it, play it, do all the things that we're doing here. So let's go ahead and dive into that trailer.
Do you remember
so it starts off
time you saw a dinosaur?
With that familiar quote from Claire. So I'm going to pause it a lot here and there, but do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur? She's describing that to Owen, or so we're led to believe from the other trailers. But this one is accompanied by a somewhat familiar shot. We saw a part of this shot in some of the other trailers. The last one specifically, which was that third and final trailer, featured a plane, shot from above going over the island. And this time it's like right at the cusp of hitting like the edge of the island. You can see the water. This is a very beautiful shot. I love this. I love this one. I don't know if I love it as much as the other one. The other one was pretty intense and pretty awesome. But this is basically that moment where you see Owen looking out the window, kind of curious as to what's going on out there. But this is a beautiful shot. So moving forward, let's see.
Saw a dinosaur?
We got that Brachiosaurus footprint right there. Same shots, they're looking at it as it's walking up to the visitor center.
A miracle.
Owen is feeding baby Blue here.
The island is dying.
A lot of the monorail shots. This right here. This guy, Rafe Spall, he's in this in the new movie here. I believe he's Eli Mills. And he's describing something here. Let me just let it play so you can hear what he's saying. I'm going to back it up.
Island is dying. The dinosaurs must be preserved. We thought you would help.
Save the dinosaurs.
So we thought you could help. So he's basically talking to Claire in that moment and saying, he's trying to convince her, we need your help to save these dinosaurs. You run this company, the Dinosaur Protection Group, that is solely based on saving dinosaurs. We want you to help. Or maybe they're the initiators. I don't know. But he seems very trustworthy. But, based off other material that we've seen already, he's not very trustworthy. But one of the epic shots in this scene is very eerie and very creepy. It's a shot we have not seen before. It's the volcano covered in clouds. and it's got these eerie clouds rolling over it, but also smoke just billowing from the top of the mountain. It is yet to explode yet, but as a typical volcano, it's got that smoke just ready to pour out and ready to explode at any moment. But this is so eerie, and I just love the sight of these clouds, the mixture of the smoke and the clouds and the peak of the mountain. It's pretty epic. Yeah, that's great. Preserved. So we get that compy again with toys. And then we get an amazing shot here. As right before Owen starts to talk, we get a very somewhat similar kind of shot that we may have seen in Jurassic World or so. We actually get a very good definition of what this island looks like from a bigger scope. So what we're looking at here is the jungle in the foreground, and then after that foreground you have the Mosasaurus Pond, which you get a very good sense of how big the Mosasaurus Pond is based off of this cage that's surrounding it. Now, I'm not talking about the monorail line because the monorail line is there as well, so it doesn't look like the Mosasaurus even had the opportunity to go that far. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that, but it doesn't look like it ever had the opportunity to, knock down any of those pillars or anything like that until now, because one of the pillars of this monorail is the monorail is cracked in half and it's falling. It's static. It's not moving or anything, but it fell a while ago. So at this point, we are 4 years away from Jurassic World, and this park is in complete shambles. It is like they just, they hired the lowest price they could to build this park, and it was just put together with like toothpicks and thumbtacks and stuff like that. It really does not look like it held up very well after 4 years. I mean, this is certainly a harsh climate, probably with a lot of storms, and it's very moist, and all the everything there is probably rusting and just being destroyed, I guess. But I cannot believe in how much disrepair this island is. But this is pretty epic, this shot, because, like I said, you got the trees, you got the Mosasaurus Pond with the monorail line broken. You can see the crowd spectator area for the Mosasaurus Pond, and you can somewhat see Main Street in the background, but you also get a good look at the Innovation Center. And you see those clouds in the background that I was just talking about coming over the volcano, because, so let me see if I can describe this okay. So when you're on Main Street, you guys know what Main Street looks like, right? When you're on it, you're looking at the Innovation Center. If you look to your left on Main Street, very high in the distance behind a pretty big ridge of a mountain, you can actually see the volcano. So that gives you a great perspective, not one that we saw before. So now I really want to go back and watch Jurassic World to get a sense of where that volcano is. Because now I know. And I want to see if maybe this is something they certainly retconned in after the fact, or maybe they subtly put it in there and we just didn't notice. I don't know, but I'd be surprised to see something along those lines like I see in this moment in the trailer in that movie Jurassic World. But as we know, a lot of this stuff can change. Maybe the placement, maybe how things look. Things change from trailer to the theater screen. So as of right now, that's where the mountain is. But this is an epic shot, and it just shows how the state of disrepair for this island. So I'm going to move on here.
Save the dinosaurs from an island that's about to explode.
We get a good shot here of, Ted Levine. He is a very militaristic looking dude. He's got this strap along his shoulder. He's got the brown fatigues on. He's got this small brimmed hat. He just looks like he is straight up military. He's got the aviary. That's funny. Wait, I can't say this word. Aviator? That's the word I was looking for. Aviator sunglasses. And he is looking really angry. Very angry, and just a sour looking guy. Like, he is just upset about being on this island. And I'm gonna go straight to the point and say that this dude is not a good guy. I mean, maybe they'll twist it here and he's actually not part of the crew, but if he's any part of this mercenary group that has been sent with Owen and Claire and their team for the DPG, then this guy's a bad dude. So keep your eye out for him because he's a very sour-looking guy right now. So let's keep moving. The volcano explodes. Owen says, what could go wrong? They open up the container with the T-Rex. And then from the other trailer, we got that shot of Owen reaching out and touching the snout of the T-Rex. And in that snout, oh, so disgusting. You can see like just nasty something or other just pouring out of its nose. It's kind of disgusting. Taps it. She's tranked. Or so it thinks. So we don't get this comedy moment that we got in the other trailer where he's like, I'm okay, or whatever he said. You know, he reached his thumb up in the air, and people didn't know how to take that moment. I didn't mind it, actually. I thought it was actually really funny after, you know, I had that initial shock of like, oh, wow, this is interesting. This is where we're going with this. It's going to have a lot of comedy. But I love it. I love that moment. They don't get it here, where this is focusing on an international audience, so a lot of the things we'll see here are very different. But let's move on.
Did you see that?
Well, there we go. That's a little bit of comedy. So after he rolled out of that container truck, him and Claire, Claire is holding the door closed. Obviously, she locked it, so the T-Rex is not like breaking through, I guess. I mean, I think a T-Rex could probably break through, but he's got his back to the cage, and he's just like, did you see that? Let's listen again.
Did you see that?
Very, very comical in that moment.
There is one animal that poses a real challenge.
Blue.
Hey, Blue. You know.
So there's one animal that poses a real challenge, and they are very set on getting Blue. For some reason, they have this dossier on Blue, and it looks like Eli Mills here is walking with Claire. She is in her formal business attire, very much the way we've seen Claire before. And they're walking through what we have come to know as Lockwood Manor, mansion, however we want to say, estate. And they're discussing, I guess, the details of this journey.
That poses a real challenge.
And interestingly, the tech is crazy in this movie. And I mean, people maybe noticed that about Jurassic World, saying, oh, the tech seems a little overboard. We have, you know, this crazy control room. We have holograms of dinosaurs. Well, now we have tablet desks, or, you know, haptic feedback desks of some sort that, you know, you can push and pull graphics, and it looks like it has a dock on the bottom, like where you store your apps or whatever. So this is very awesome. I am really digging this, and I need this for this studio right here. I would love to have that so I can reference all my show notes and everything. That would be perfect. But on this thing, he's swiping it across the desk to show Claire it's a map of Isla Nublar. And I don't know what he's showing, but let's move forward.
A real challenge.
Because it's very weird how this transitions. I think there's a little bit more to this, but he's pushing a map of Sorna, or not Sorna. Sorry to get your hopes up. Nublar, and then it instantly, just like the next shot, switches to statistics and information about Blue.
Challenge.
Blue.
We get an awesome shot, very Spielberg type shot of Owen going through the jungle, and there's a single like stream of very Sorna looking stream from like the Lost World, how they were, you know, looking for Sarah Harding in that moment, and they're on that single stream area, and this very dense jungle on either side, and a single like opening where you can see him in the distance walking through this stream. In the foreground, we get this tree limb and a lot of vines and stuff hanging down. So this is a very Spielberg shot as it pushes in, you know, as he is walking through the jungle. It's very awesome. Blue shows up.
You know
Hey, Blue.
me. Come with me. You know you can't stay here.
So you all remember that shot, literally, from the other trailer where the you know, he's trying to reach out to Blue and get her to trust him again and say, you know, you don't belong here. We have to take you out of here. You know, you can't stay. And then she gets tranked. And he's like freaking out. He's like, get back. Everybody needs to get back. This is not going to be good for you guys. You don't know how to deal with this. But they don't care. And they learn the violent way. But the change in this moment is the fact that we don't see her get shot by a gun. Because in the other trailer, she got shot by a real live bullet. Or so we think. I mean, I don't know. I didn't per se see the bullet, you know, enter or exit her body at all. So, I mean, maybe there's a chance it didn't actually hit her, and we're led to believe that she passed out because of that. But she did get tranked. So, in this trailer, we don't see her get shot. We see her get tranked, and then she passes out. So, it's interesting. I don't know what they're trying to do here. And as I said in the other bonus episode, I would have loved to have not seen that moment. And we get that moment here, or we get my wish. It's not in that moment. So that's interesting, because the way it plays out here, you see her get tranked.
You know you can't stay here.
She freaks out, and then she drops. So you don't necessarily see her get shot, but Owen does still look as, you know, concerned as he did in the other trailer. So maybe it's a fake out. It could be potentially a fake out if, you know, he is on the ground. I think he gets pushed over in that, you know, whole chaos there. And if he hears a gunshot, he looks over, sees her fall to the ground. I could imagine him freaking out, wondering, oh my God, did my girl get shot? And then I could see him like kind of like grasping at her body, like just trying to check, like, are you okay? Are you all right? And then kind of breathing a sigh of relief when he realizes she wasn't shot. She was just tranked. But I don't know. That's maybe just me being hopeful, because she seems fine later in the movie with the whole stuff at the manor. So I don't know. Maybe she didn't get shot here. Maybe it was just a fake out. But which would be nice and definitely thrilling. And sorry, I just maybe ruined that surprise, but I don't know.
It was all a lie.
So it was all a lie. And this is a shot we got previously. We see this ship at the East Dock, a giant ship, container ship, loading dinosaurs via helicopter. We have these giant helicopters, one with a baryonyx here, and the other one with what looks like the T-Rex. And I love that shot, mostly in the other trailer. I don't know if it's noticeable here. Let me see.
It was all a lie.
Yeah, it's not noticeable here, but in the other trailer, you can see what seems to be the Rex just kind of swinging her tail, just kind of, you know, doing her thing, swinging the tail in this giant container unit as she's flying over the water and going towards this ship. So I thought that was really cute, but very interesting and interesting way to get these dinosaurs on this boat. So move forward.
It was all a lie.
It was all a lie. You want to know what was all a lie? This entire plan. The faking her out, being hopeful about the DPG, and whoever Eli Mills is, whatever kind of character he is, he fooled her and he lied. He straight up gave her help to get to this island to most likely, contain Blue, and then took all the other dinosaurs for sale. Because we know that they are selling these dinosaurs in auction later on in this movie. And it was all a lie, and she fell for it. And she helped salvage these dinosaurs and get them contained, I'm sure, in some capacity, and helped, locate them and figure out a lot of this island. And she was played. She was played hard. And next up, we get a pretty awesome shot that I want to just mention here. We did see a glimpse of this in the behind-the-scenes reel. We see this giant manor estate, whatever you want to call it, and it is very giant. It is a very giant house, mansion, in the woods, in what I had assumed was the United Kingdom somewhere. It's got that castle look to it. I assumed that Benjamin Lockwood, a partner of John Hammond, was British or, something of the sort, Scottish. I don't know. But maybe he is. But according to, I believe it was J.A. Bayona in an article with EW.com, he mentioned that this is an American set, an American location. So that's very interesting. And it's going to be, fun to see how this plays out. In what I assume is, I don't know, I'm wondering where this could be. I mean, it could be, in the northeast of the United States, which is very mountainous and very tall trees like this. It could be in the northwest, maybe somewhere like Seattle up in the woods or I don't know. I don't know, Oregon or something like that. Who knows? But it's a mansion out there. I just don't know where this could be. I don't think it's San Diego again, but maybe I'm wrong. But that's very interesting news to me. So I assumed this entire time that this would mostly be taking place in the UK, whatever this mansion scene was. It was filmed out there. The entire production really took place out there. So I just assumed, I guess, that they were really focusing in on the United Kingdom, but maybe that's not the case.
Blue's DNA will form the architecture of a completely new creature.
Blue's DNA will form the architecture of a completely new creature. That's not a good thing. We trusted this guy before, getting everybody to the island, but that's not good. And here, he is in a lab with tons of DNA sequencers and stuff like that in the background. There's people working on this stuff as well. And there is a hologram of a dinosaur, which I'm trying to tell. It's actually quite difficult to tell in this very quick shot. It looks like the Indominus. It could be the Indoraptor. They're very similar in stature, or, not size, but the way they're built. Let me see.
Will form the architecture of a completely
It looks like the Indominus.
creature.
But, so Blue's DNA will do that, will help form a very new creature. And the way they're setting this up is that that new creature is the Indoraptor. So maybe they do get her DNA somehow. And I don't know. I wonder if there is a deeper conspiracy here to the DPG. We do see, the time we see like vials and medical equipment in these trailers have been in Wu's lab or wherever he is, and also via Daniela Pineda, who's Zia Rodriguez in this movie. So I wonder, it just makes me wonder if there is some, espionage going on here where she is infiltrating the DPG and getting them the samples that they need. But I don't know. I mean, she is the one who says, like, they don't want her, dead, or they don't want her, I forget exactly how she worded it, but they want her alive so they can, use her. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's no espionage there. Maybe it's just completely made up. I just like to come up with all these theories on my own, I guess. But if the Indoraptor is made from Blue, it's going to be an interesting time frame in this movie, and just wondering how this all takes place. But let's move on here.
New creature.
The Indoraptor steps in.
This animal myself.
Wu, Dr. Wu, is in the building. That's not where I was going to go with that, but he is here. He is in the building, and he is finally talking in these trailers. Let's take another listen. He is very Dr. Wu, like the most Dr. Wu that you could ever be.
I designed this animal myself. You never thought about the applications of your research?
I designed this animal myself. If that is not any kind of cue that Wu is just an evil dude, then I don't know what is. I've had this sneaking suspicion that there is more to him than just a well-doing DNA guy that just so happened to mess up and created a monster that he didn't mean to. There is much more to him. And certainly by him getting taken off of the island in the last movie and now working with whatever people these are, I mean, maybe there is some issue here. Maybe he's kind of under lock and key and forced, because he does seem to be almost at odds here with whoever he is talking to at this moment, because they're leading you to believe that these two conversations are together, but they're based off what you see, that's not the case. So let's keep going.
I designed this animal myself. You never thought about the
you never thought about the application? So you get a shot of a ton of vials and stuff. We saw that in the other trailer. So there's just a load of dinosaurs in there, and I can't see via this picture here, but there's a lot.
The applications of your research?
A lot of stuff we've already seen. Blue and the Indoraptor in the bedroom, and Owen just looking in shock. And now we get that iconic, what will certainly be iconic shot of the Indoraptor on the mansion in the moonlight, roaring at, in front of the moon. That is certainly going to be iconic. It is an incredible shot. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite shots. Let's keep going.
We've entered a new era.
A very interesting shot here. We've entered a new era, and then we see... Actually, I'm going to go back just a second. Listen very carefully to this roar from the Indoraptor.
We've entered a new era.
I don't know if that's, how it will sound in a movie, but it is interesting. And then we get that shot that I was going to say of a submarine. What looks to be like it's opening... I don't even know how to describe this. It's in front of like a giant container that's opening in the water. I don't really know what's happening here. Claire jumps that truck. We get that T-Rex roaring, which was an incredible shot, roaring at the ladder. Let's see this again. The T-Rex roaring at the helicopter at first, then roaring at the dude on the ladder, which is my favorite shot from the trailer. It is so intense looking. I just love the fact that this dude is wearing a yellow trench coat or, raincoat, so symbolizing Jurassic Park with like Dennis Nedry and Muldoon and stuff. So I love that yellow raincoat. Mosasaurus in the ocean again with the dude surfing. Nothing else happens here, so that's all we're getting for now. Oh man, this shot is incredible. Oh my god. So it's interesting how it came about here, but I cannot tell who this man is, but he is running away from the Rex in one of the most killer shots of the Rex. Very obscured in the darkness, only illuminated by the spotlight of this helicopter as this guy is running to try to catch up to that ladder. And this Rex, you can barely see it aside from when it pokes its head out into the spotlight. It's so incredible. Oh my god.
You're before us. And if we're not careful,
that is going to be really intense. Very reminiscent of even that truck chase, the Jeep chase in Jurassic Park. How that was shot and everything. It looks very similar. It looks like the Rex is running towards the camera. The camera is also moving backwards as this guy and the Rex are running towards them. Here we get that shot of the little girl, Maisie, with the claw behind her coming through the gates.
they're gonna be here after.
Mosasaurus chomping on the guy who just could not get away on the helicopter. He faced some tough stuff and eventually got eaten by the Mosasaurus.
I say we shut this whole thing down.
We're gonna shut it down.
It's a T-Rex.
It's not a T-Rex. Probably. Not a T-Rex! What was this spider?
So, talk about comedy here. See, it's not a T-Rex. And he's like, how is this better? I actually like the comedy from Justice Smith's character, Franklin Webb. I like his scream and his authentic reaction to that. I've always liked it from the beginning. It I think it reminded me of a movie with like Jonah Hill, where he freaked out at like something similar to, no, not similar, but something similarly, and it just makes me crack up every time. And the comedy that might be tough though is Claire's, and she, would you believably say all this as Baryonyx is barreling towards you? I don't know. Take another listen.
It's a T-Rex.
It's not a T-Rex. Probably.
I don't know. Carnotaurus again. this same old shot. Volcano exploding, Owen running, gyrosphere ball going down the cliff. The smoke overtaking Owen. Gyrosphere is in the water. And then we have Jurassic World logo.
Make it back. Remember, you're the one who made me come here.
And then this line, which is pretty comical.
If I don't make it back, remember, you're the one who made me come here.
I love that.
Right.
I'll be all right. We're back to the other Rex roar, because I believe they changed it from that roar to a different roar in the other trailer, and it sounds like back to this roar. But that's it. Then the credits are all here, based on characters created by Michael Crichton. Written by Derek Connolly, Colin Trevorrow, directed by J.A. Bayona. Very awesome. I really love that trailer. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you want to watch it for yourself, head to the link in our show notes and find our podcast all over the place. We are on iTunes, Google Play. Just search for the Jurassic Park Podcast. I don't know where you're listening to this, but we are on all kinds of podcasting apps. We're on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share over there. And also find us on our website, JurassicParkPodcast.com, Twitter @Jurassic Park Podcast, and Instagram, Jurassic Park Podcast. I've been your host, Brad Jost. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy. Make sure to visit JurassicParkPodcast.com to find all our past episodes, brand new news articles, information on how to contact us, and much more. It's a great source for everything related to the podcast, and of course, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Head to JurassicParkPodcast.com and help us build a great community.
Anybody hear that?
5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.